Itagat chitab kalenjin eng tetuteng'ung nebo Mashinani eng betut nebo rani. Nitok po tarik 26 somok kasi notok ko arawetab oeng 2025. Ole kakigusti kong kebeberwek chotok cheterterchin tuguk chetesetai eng kebeberta nebo Mashinani. Atochin anyun eng Kass TV kainenyu ko Chesankaro Sirmam. Koituyogei kandoik, familia ak chamanik chotok chebo nego seneta nebo Baringo William Cheptumo eng igorta nebo kayumetab rabisiek chekiboisie eng tetutik chebo konoretab bortonyi ole kokiyai korata eng koskoleng'utab amut eng kanisetab AIC Milimani eng taonit nitok bo Nairobi. Koindochi korata minista nebo ripsetab kalyet eng emet orit Kipchumba Murkomen ak leader of majority eng bunge nebo Senate Aaron Cheriot chekomwa kole chang boisionik chotok che kibwote Senator Cheptumo nekibois ko ogiliot, ko MP nebo Baringo North ak ko Senator nebo Baringo. Tetat keyai igortab sautik eng betutab kwang'wan kasi eng kanisa natok bo AIC Milimani kotomo keib bortonyi akoi county nebo Baringo ole kikonori eng betutab Jumamos.
I was elected in 2013. Cheptumo had already served one term. And surprisingly, we were elected together to Senate in 2022, and we served together for about 2 months. I had just come to this committee, to this ministry, where he was the chair of the committee. And on December 19th, when I went to see him at home, we had a very long discussion on so many things related to security of our country. And he was very excited that I was appointed to this ministry because in the first place we were friends, and we had Angaika Uko Baringo on matters of security. So I will cherish what he told me, and I'll work hard to implement as much as possible the things that he wanted us to do. Yeah, I really want to do that for God's glory and for the sake of remembering our friend. We are here, so many of us, so nataka tujipange kutoa. Just want to say to the daughter, even in the absence of mom here and the rest of the extended family, we will continue standing with you. Cheptumo was an inspiration in many ways. I keep saying the fact that everybody in his family studied law, it means he was such a good lawyer that in most of us, our children don't want to do our profession because they think we are lost, or that they think this profession has robbed us of apparel. But for everybody in his family to be a lawyer, in fact, Andrew, I used to see Andrew when I used to go to Alliance High School. So I first met him when he was, that's the last born, with Form 3, and asked him, what do you want to be? Andrew told me, of course, a lawyer. Yeah, and I was like, a lawyer again? And your mother and father are lawyers? He told me, no, even my siblings are lawyers. I was in school with a wife, Mrs. Cheptumo, and I think we finished together in Parklands. If I'm not wrong, we graduated together, being her second degree. And so for her to have been inspired by her husband to also join the legal profession, it was such an amazing story.
We have a great man in the name of William Cheptumo. I didn't know much about Cheptumo before. The first time I encountered is 2007. I met the leaders of Baringo at that time. They summoned me as in private sector. I didn't know much about the public sector. And we had a cup of tea, and they introduced me to the rest of the family of Baringo County. And from there, we built a strong bond, and he was a man responsive and quite quick in addressing some issues.
We agreed earlier today that we will come to stand with the family of our departed colleague because he meant a lot to us, and we shall be together today, tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Thursday we'll be back here, and all the way to home on Saturday. So Asanteni, thank you also for finding time to come and stand with us, because we equally feel the loss, and when you come here, we feel that you have stood with us.
Ketesetai ko kakokimit serikali kole makitau boisionik alak chelelachen akoi kiwang boisionik chekikotononso eng komaswek cheterter eng emet. Nemwa Deputy Chief of Staff Dr. Eliud Owalo nekikilewen kotononchi kebeberta nebo Performance and Delivery Management eng ofisitab President kole chang boisionik chotok chekikitoe serkalisiek chekikosirto kobate tomo kiwong ako unotok kotinye maget neo serkalitab President William Ruto koker kole kakiwong boisionik chotok. Kong'ololi Owalo eng taonitab Narok kang'oyai tuyet ak stakeholders cheterter.
When it comes to these so-called stall projects, these stall projects have not been started during the tenure of the current government. In fact, if anything, what we are trying to do is to make sure that those stall projects are completed. We don't want to be a bad government that abandons projects which were started by previous governments. We are ensuring that where those projects are proven to be feasible, we go ahead and complete them for the benefit of the Kenyan people. But we have projects which were started 20 years ago. Surely the current government, the fifth administration, cannot be blamed because we have had successive governments in between and those projects are still stalled. That notwithstanding, we are doing everything possible within the means and within the physical space that is available at the disposal of government to ensure that those stalled projects are completed. With respect to projects that have been started under the current government, our priority is to ensure that we have adequate budgetary provision for all the projects. And any project that has been started during the tenure of the fifth administration, believe you me, those projects will be pursued to a logical conclusion. Roads, for example, quite a number of roads have stalled. Some of them were even started during the period of the preceding government. But as a responsible government, we have made a conscious decision under guidance of His Excellency the President that we will first of all utilize money available at our disposal to complete all the stalled but existing or ongoing roads before we embark on new roads.
Ak yekitesetai kokebet malik chebo aliet netomo kenai chemung'arainik chebo taonitab Kericho kosubkei ak nyasutietab maat noton koityi akobel korikwak chebo mung'aret chemiten ketesiet neo noton nebo karisiek eng taonitab Kericho eng kembout nekoekyin rani. Mwae logoiwek kole kotoigei maat eng sait 4 nebo kemboi eng kebeberta agenge nebo korikab mung'aret chotok ko chetam kekonore chemung'arainik tugukwak ak kole akesale kweinik akoyaptagei eng chokchinet ole kibwotyin kele maatak kokotoigei kosubkei ak kaimutietab sitimet. Kinyoru sirindenyo Robert Siele asikobit koarorwech eng koindo.
Kokoi mising studio nebo Kass TV en nguni amiten en taonitab Kericho len kemout nekakin betutab raini kokoimuch konyor biret neo kot mising chemung'arainik chemiten en stage neo nebo karisiek en taonitab Kericho chetindoi korikab mung'aret kosubkei ak nyasutietab maat nekoimuch koityi akobel korik icheket korik chekotiengei icheket en boisionik chebo atkai tugul. En nguni amache ang'alal ak alak en chemung'arainik chekoimuch konyor asenet ak alak en meng'ikab taonitab Kericho koarorwech kole tos kotaunda kano mai ak tos nee tuguk chekoibet icheket. Itakat eng jinata nebo Kass TV teina royu mangen ale kikuren ng'o ako tos mangen ale koiben en royu.
Kainaik kekurenon Rose Rotich. Kongo by saa 4:20 kobirwo simoit biik chekotokomi stage kolenjon kakonam maat korik chekitinye en stage ireuto chu chebo biashara. Alenji ocharibunen omis amun atinye beek en yoton, ale obut tapit akotach beek omis. Kocharibunen lakini koo koristo nia. Kotaken time koit karitab county nebo fire amun kwaitu ane en gaa amenye kap Cheptoror lakini kwaitu akabur nekit like 1 hour 30 minutes asikoit karitab county lakini motoretech kora amun komatinye beek karit. Akwo akawek karit nikan lakini manyokolal kole mami mwanik chekoin kopampen pressure nebo kopitito beek. Kokibur like 2 hours asikoit karitab Finlays nekonyokotoreton kabisa amun kolalyo korik more than 20 ako kochang tuguk chekomi orit en korichon kabisa. So kakisome kityo county government ine koker ole toretech amun makingen ot ole kinome. It went down, mami kiy kabisa nekokisoru akot korik alak chekokakisor tuguk kokichor kora, yani makitoretake kabisa.
Ale nyindet ko chemung'arindet koitinye ne en tugeng'ung orit ako tos imwa ile bo siling ata tuguk chekoibet?
Koabet any tuguk kabisa amun uu kele korik oeng en ane chekolalyo store ak konitam ko achoben chips. Store ko kwatinye tuguk kabisa more than 100,000 amun stock chekomi orit ko store kityo ak tugetab chips ko komi tuguk kabisa. Atinye fridge neo, komi fridge orit neo, komi mashinishek chebo blendaishek, komi tuguk chechang kabisa chekomi konyu. Fridgeishek, meso, kila kitu chombo hoteli inei amun ko neo nebo chips. So
Asame mkone koji serikalitab county.
asome kityo county koker ole toretitech ak koker kabisa koyai next time kobit fire ko kecheng ele respondeni haraka. Kotaken time kabisa nendot kosoru biik wenyewe ko kokaikat kosir karino komotoretech karino kabisa.
So en nguno kora kemiten ak nebo ng'echeret en kibagengeitab Kericho bunge la wananchi ole amache sikobit arorwech tos ne kit nemokyingei chemung'arainik chu en taonitab Kericho ak kurseng'ung ko ne koityi serikalitab county taunen kaine?
En county ko Richard Mutai nebo ng'echeret bunge la nebo Kericho. Kokinyoru ng'alekab nyeshet nebo mat nebo Kericho en orogenet kabisa. Kamache kityo akochi county government nebo Kericho tuguk karibu oeng ala ko somok. Netai kokikobitsan county assembly kial karit age kikibitsan last year. Komorongen ole from last year kokilian simotinye karishek an extra karit age county nebo Kericho nebo Msimamoto. Ya pili kilian asikeib karitab chemisimat kong'eten Kericho en town akoi keib akoi Kapsuser. Kemoche komwoe county government kole ne kit netoreti yoton. Ya tatu biik chekete karitab Msimamoto nebo Kericho ko ruo ano biik ata bichoton. Ndako kokakonam ai ale konye saa 4 ko kanamen kot agenge ndako miten karit Msimamoto Kericho reu ko komuchi komis maat. So kasome alene ni en county government nebo Kericho ko miono MCS miono ni kimache Msimamoto konyo Kericho town ak kikochi station en yuton. Ya akemache karit age nekikobitsan en county assembly nebo Kericho. Kimache karit age nebure en ireu. Ako kit neo kabisa kemoche kenai kele ni karishek chu miten Msimamoto ni miten Kericho kilian asimatinye beek. Ile beek komiten kap DC yono en Kurgat. Kolian asimamiten beek. Kolian asikekany karit all the way from Finlay asinya komis maat.
Kebeberta neo nebo boisionik chekotestai en kemoini ko koimuch koimak bichoton kosubkei ak biikab emet. Kurseng'ung ko ne koityi biikab emet mara koimirmirgei ak bichu kot kora matakoyai boisieng'wany en oret nekaran.
Akonu wito kora ak biik en biikab Kericho ak biik tugul chemiten. Yon kanyo nyasut neu noni ko maame ketekenen advantage nyakechoren biik. Chemung'arainik chekomiten chekobet tugukwak en ireu ko tuguk chechang ko kochor biik. It is very shameful inyechoren chito nerire inyechoren kora tugukyik. Kimache nan kesomo yon imache itoretishe ne kotok. Lakini yon inyonye ak inyechor tuguk alak outright takeng'ololi nguni kora kotakochorse biik. Matonda kechor tugukab biik alak ndamun bichu acha kokiligei kou yon moche kokiligei. So kimache nan kesomo serikali nebo county government nebo Kericho ong'et rabisiek omache otoret bichu chukolalien tuguk. Ndamun kolalio tuguk ako mamiten rabisiek en nguno otoret en chemung'arainik asikobit konam kasiekwak akichek. Kongoi missing kabisa.
Kora agenge en chemung'arainik che mara koibet kora tugukwak en ireu mongen taunen kainet ak imwa ile koiben ne ako tos bo siling ata nanamu.
Kurenon Mohamed Abdullahi Arapto, mi ni contractor county. Mi nashangaa jana kabisa gari ya municipal council waja onge kikale, najua mahali koenda naenda tu kwa sanga na mut koit kariteni ak beek kidogo hata hizi tosha tuoge na hii mama. Haya nakuja sima moto kidogo na natoroka ako namboriet ubare kemwochi ngoma kobire komager aya kole kabek tuguchu kinamwae na tai kabisa namwae na tai mi chito nekekuren Sima nominated nebo county koin mapema en kobirwo simoit kemi twan en akorir kou lakwet kabisa akole solyoi bichu chuket alyoini akole Mohamed sinye ketoboten koronano akorirat yun alechi matin kokeri raya sikonam kokwer ng'o kokwer kansulayat nebo yu kaitu subuhi lakini kobur Sima kabisa ak angetab Kiislamu ak kila kitu kotononi en akorir kabisa Islam kole solyochi bichu kalyan bichu tokole polisiek notoret bichu au toibu beek otiloten yun akotumchi abare korir asis kabisa torole bakorian ne kararan mi toyot nekekuren muga leminde ne chambo salisien mwanaume kobutyu tugul aketoretkei ni huyu Huyu si mkale lakini ni mkale kabisa kamili. Kwa maana anakuwa anasaidia mali ya watu. Sasa ile natupa nje, kila kitu naendelea. Mimi napoteza mashini kama mimi contractor town. Hiko mama moja jirani yangu mimi naita semeji yangu. Nakuwa na mafuta hapa mingi. Wajana naye. Wajana naye. Kwa hiyo mama bwana, anakuwa anajaza mafuta karibu ya milioni 3. Hiyo mafuta yote kaenda. Hata hakupaki hata kitu. Mimi ni abatali, mimi ni mwanaume, taweza kutafuta. Taweza kuja kwako, naomba kwa watu. Lakini mimi naomba kama na Agiricho. Naomba kama na Agiricho kabisa mzuri. Naomba kama na Agiricho kabisa. Angalia maneno Simba Moto na angalia watu yake. Kama na si hana maneno sahi, iko mzuri. Lakini asaidie hii watu, anunue mabati, anunue kila kitu, ili wafanya biashara aendelee Kericho town. Mimi nasema asante kwa ile watu nakuwa nasaidia sisi, kwa polisi na mtu naitwa Moga. Hiyo mimi nasema asante kabisa.
Choton ko alak en chemung'arainik chebo taonitab Kericho ng'ololjin ketishoni ole kabit nito kora en kasarta nemwaat kele komiten barwet anan siret kobun serkalitab county nebo Kericho kebeberta noton nebo physical planning kole komo chamdaat anan komo makat koistogei alak en chemung'arainik en kebeberwechuto. Ole niton kora yautiet kora nekaisubgei kora yautiet nebo nyosutietab maat nekoimuch kobit en siret noton nebo Litein en kemout nekakingit betab raini. So tokor kisubi asikeibwok en logoiwekab emet chemiten tai. Kainenyun ko Robert Siele, testai iker Kass TV amun kimnatet naet.
Kongoi Robert Siele notok kakoarorwech eng kit notok nekotestai eng mat notok nekobel korikab mung'aret. Ko yekitestai kokakokoito kurset eng serikali governor nebo Narok Patrick Ole Ntutu koityi kale kotoret kabatik chebo nganuk ak bandek konyor aliet notok nemite barak asikobit konyorune kelchin rurutikwak. Ntutu kole chechang eng kabatikab county notok kale kotomo kwalda kesutikwak kosubkei ak nemite ng'ony mising aliet notok nebo Milas. Kong'ololi eng sukulitab Ngareta Secondary School eng kebeberta nebo Narok North.
Leo tumepata shida mingi sana hapa Narok County ya kwamba wakulima wetu wameweza kuharvest more than 400,000 bags of maize. Na imekuwa sasa karibu mwezi moja wale millers wa Nairobi na wale wa Kisumu na wale wa Nakuru wamekataa katakata kuja kununua ile ngano yetu. Tayari leo watu wameandamana na sio tu hapa Narok. Tulikuwa na wengine huko Eldoret na kuna wengine nafikiri pande ya Laikipia. Ni kwamba ni wito wangu tu kwa sababu tayari nimeshapiga simu huko kwa wizara husika ya agriculture ya kwamba ni lazima hiyo ngano inunuliwe within 1 week. Wale millers ambayo wanalete ngano pale pengine wawachane na hiyo ngano mpaka kwanza wanunue ngano ambayo tayari tuko nayo kwa masoko yetu. Na hiyo tayari tumekubaliana nao within 1 week hiyo ngano yote itolewe bila kuchelewa kwa sababu mvua ndio hii na wakulima wetu wengi wanao hawana pahali ya kuweka hiyo ngano. Ngano yao nyingi iko nje. So hiyo mvua ikinyesha tutapata shida nyingi na tutapata hasara nyingi. Na lazima sisi kama viongozi husika, tayari nimempigia waziri wa agriculture na nimemwambia afike Narok na aje aone ile shida ambayo tuko nayo.
Ketesetai kokakomwa Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi kole itin kamanutiet neo serikalitab Kenya Kwanza imanda nebo kimugulmet. Eng mwaet kole kotesetai kosuldae ng'atutik cheterter chetokchingei kokimit imanda notok kora katiaknatet nebo biikab emet. Kong'ololi eng taonitab Geneva eng emetab Switzerland eng igorta notok nebo yatetab tuyet nebo Human Rights Council komwa Mudavadi kole tindoi katiaknatet neo kibagengeisiek cheborchingei imandab kipkosobei eng emoni ole machutyin serikali boisionik chebo kibagengeisiek chata. Komite tuyonoto sirindet neo nebo kibagengeitab United Nations notok ko Antonio Guterres nekosom emotinwek chetesetai koterchindos kotonon boriet akoboisie ortinwek chotok chebo alak chebo cheng'etab walutik eng terchinosiekwak.
Mr. President, Kenya's strong adherence to human rights is evident by its membership in most of the key international human rights instruments. The government remains dedicated to their full and effective implementation, which entails both regular reporting to treaty bodies and constructive engagement in dialogue with them. Additionally, Kenya is an active member of the regional human rights mechanisms, including the East Africa Community Court of Justice and Africa Charter on Human People's Rights. Domestically, Kenya has implemented various legal, policy, judicial, and other mechanisms to safeguard the enjoyment of these rights by all citizens. In 2010, Kenya established one of the most progressive constitutions in history. Its Chapter 4 is dedicated to the Bill of Rights, which protects fundamental freedoms and rights. This Bill of Rights applies to all people and state organs without discrimination. Kenya is cognizant of the fact that corruption is a threat to human rights. Corruption often facilitates and aggravates human rights violations, particularly against vulnerable groups, by hindering their access to rights and services such as legal representation and a fair trial, property rights, education, health, and social protection. We continue to strengthen institutions, legislation, regulations, and policies to fight corruption, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. Still, Kenya has upheld its commitment by maintaining a standing invitation for special procedures since 2015 and has consistently accepted requests and responded to recommendations subject to their respective functions. And in recognition of the valuable contribution of civil society organizations, public and national human rights commissions, Kenya actively engages with them through various fora and incorporates their perspectives in its periodic reports. Kenya has extended the arc of human rights protection to vulnerable groups, including refugees, through legislation and policies such as the Shirika Plan, which is a premier refugee integration and management program. Kenya has guaranteed the dignity and economic rights of these victims of forced displacement.
Without respect for human rights, civil, cultural, economic, political, and social, sustainable peace is a pipe dream. And like this Council, human rights shine a light in the darkest places. Through your work and the work of the High Commissioner's Office around the world, you are supporting brave human rights defenders, risking persecution, detention, and even death. You are working with government, civil society, and others to strengthen action on human rights, and you are supporting investigations and accountability.
Kiywechin koimokis tetutikab konyoiset eng sipitalishek tugul chebo serikali eng county nebo Nairobi kong'etege kemboutab betut noto nebo kwang'wan kasi wikinito. Nenito ko kosubkei ak nekaibarasta kibagengeitab konyoik nebo Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union KMPDU mornetab Nairobi kangelelchinetab boisiet noto komochei serikali kosuldochi ichek magutikwak cheterter. Kinyoru sirindenyo Caroline Kiplagat asikoarorwech logoiwechuto eng koindo.
Solidarity forever. Go. Solidarity forever.
Wikisiek oeng chekosirto ko kikochi kibagengeitab KMPDU mornetab Nairobi serikalitab county nebo Nairobi notice nebo kong'elelchi boisiet kosubkei ak uinwek cheterter chetesetai kobune konyoik choton. Akot kounoton komwoe nebo kecheret en KMPDU mornetab Nairobi Dr. Deogratius Maero kole maib kakwautiet agetugul serikalitab gavana nebo Nairobi Johnson Sakaja nebo kosuldae akot ng'alalet en kwenung'wany kit nekayai ichek ko
Bwana CS, Bwana Akumali, we know you personally. Please climb down the tree. We are here down here. We are begging you. We are desperate. We want you to come down the tree so that we can also have a discussion. If you want a ladder, we can give you the ladder. If you don't have a ladder, we'll give you our back. Step on it. Come down. Let's talk so that we save lives. Let me talk to the Nairobians. I want to advise you. Come Thursday, midnight. There will be no doctor in any of these hospitals. Mbagathi, Pumwani, Mama Lucy, Mama Margaret, level 3s, level 2s, level 1s, level 0s.
Magutik chemache konyoik choton ko koboto tugetab konyoiset, promotions chebo daktariek ak keliponji ichek melekwek cheyoksei.
Today, if a doctor goes to hospital right now, you will spend more than 4 hours to get treatment, whether emergency or not. Why? Because that hospital has to call Jubilee, the insurance. Jubilee has to call the county health administrator. administrator calls CC, CC will call CS, CS will call governor, governor will go ahead and call the African Union Commission, which will revert back the matter to, I mean, it's a circus. It's bad. Doctors are suffering because they cannot access the care they are giving. Why? Because county has decided to prioritize dumping trash to treating doctors well. We have doctors who are owed gratuity, millions of shillings, gratuity. These doctors were employed as contract doctors. We all know, as a contract employee, once your contract comes to an end, then you are due for your gratuity. It's been 3 years. This county has refused even to have a discussion around that thing.
Kamochi KMPDU mengikab Nairobi chetinye tilionutik kwach eng sipitalisiek cheterter chebo serikali koista ichek eng sipitalisiek choton komatinye ichek panganutik alak tugul chebo kowekchigei boisiet agoi kisuldae magutik choton.
Start requesting that your patients be discharged from today because we value life. If you have a patient, please don't take them to end of these hospitals. Take them across here, Kenyatta National Hospital. We have Kenyatta Teaching and Referral Hospital. Take them to faith-based organizations, private hospitals, please, because we want to save lives. Now, as chair, my most important function in KMPDU, as a union, because we are responsible, is usually just to be the voice of reason, to be the bridge, to bring people together. But I want to tell you, Nairobians, I have tried, I have failed. This county does not listen. But I still want to promise you that we'll do everything within the next 72 hours. We'll do everything to make sure that we try and call off this strike. We'll do everything. But remember, the ball is not in our hands. We passed this ball to your governor 2 weeks ago. It is for him to score a goal. Not 3 goals, not 2 goals, just a goal. The goal of prioritizing health in this county.
Caroline Kiplagat, logoiwekab emet en county nebo Nairobi.
Chitab Kalenjin kinyoru kamung'et kitikin asikobit ketestai.